This is the airnetwork.net. Welcome to our second season of Winter High School Sports here on the airnetwork.net. Tonight, it's Huntington Bearcat Wrestling live from Huntington Area High School Gymnasium, where the Huntington Bearcats, by the way, will be hosting Tyrone Golden Eagles. And with us tonight, as last year, we welcome back to our broadcast booth, as it were, our good friend Chad States, the main man with all the wrestling information. How you doing, Chad?
Hey, we're doing good. It's a good night to be out here.
Well, tell us a little bit about the Huntington Bearcats as we get set to take on Tyrone tonight, the Eagles. You know anything about these squads at all? What's happening?
I know a little bit about Huntington. Anticipation is running high throughout the Bearcat program. Last year, this is a squad that went 19-4 overall, finished as a District 6 dual runner-up to West Branch, lost by 1 point, 37-36, but then went on to capture the District 6 individual tournament title, advancing 7-on to regionals, and then eventually getting out of regionals into 4 into states at that point in time. A great year on paper, but the expectations this year are even greater. They returned virtually everybody from that same squad. They're only missing their 195-pounder Matt Norris from last year. Things could not be brighter. The 4 returning wrestlers that were at state, Seth Bainey was 1 match away from placing. Colin Glorioso was 1 match away from placing, but he has placed in 2 previous PIAA tournaments. Jake Oliver, the Hammer, was a PIAA runner-up at 160 pounds. And then also you've got John Wagner. Those of you guys who have followed Bearcat football finished 6th in the state last year. All of those guys are back. Very familiar faces out here in the mat for Huntington. A tough schedule ahead, but my goodness, they have the world ahead of them to take, and it looks like these coaches are primed and ready for a big, big year, maybe the biggest that Huntington program has ever seen.
And I do believe this is Coach Mike. It's 11th or 12th season at the helm.
I think it is his 12th season. He's 198-72, so he's 2 matches away from getting that 200, from reaching a 200-win plateau. So, John, the all-time Bearcat leader in coaching wins, just doing a phenomenal job. Before the match, I got to see a little bit of the junior high program out here wrestling Tyrone. Very dominant. They've got just a healthy amount of kids out there. It looks fantastic for years to come. Well,
there have been years where the gym has been so packed that they've had to air some of these games on closed circuit, perhaps in the cafeteria there at Huntington High School and also at Tyrone. But that's not the case this year in terms of the wrestlers with Tyrone. I understand we have a few matches tonight, but not a full schedule.
We've only got 6 matches tonight. Tyrone looking at a depleted roster, some of it due to injury, some of it due to grades, some of it due to shifting of weights and kids not making weight. So we're only going to have 6 bouts out of the 14 weight classes tonight. Hopefully there's a couple good ones in there. I'm not quite sure how this is going to work out, as I'm unfamiliar with Tyrone's roster, except for their 220-pounder Stevie Collier, who is a returning Southwest Regional qualifier. Beyond that, the names are pretty unrecognizable to me, which means a lot of these kids probably didn't do much in the postseason last year. But we will be starting at 106 pounds tonight, and then rolling right on through till heavyweight, as we get ready to announce the wrestlers, and we're going to get ready for our national anthem right now.
And Chad States, by the way, live tonight from the Huntington Area High School Gymnasium, where tonight the Huntington Bearcats kick off their wrestling season for 2015-2016. And let's just stand, or at least salute, for the American flag and the national anthem. Chat State's live at the Huntington Area High School Gymnasium. They're about to rock today with Huntington hosting Tyrone tonight in high school wrestling. Chat State, you can take it away.
Great. Tonight's broadcast, courtesy of the Huntington Drop-In Center at 512 Washington Street in downtown Huntington, where we provide a wide range of social, educational, and recreational activities to the local mental health population. We also operate the County Fresh Express food distribution every month. The next Fresh Express food distribution is happening Wednesday, December 16th at 512 Washington Street at noon. Thank you for your support and Merry Christmas. Also, Images Print Shop in downtown Huntington for a variety of print services, including brochures, newsletters, business cards, business forms, and more. Let Images Print Shop provide you with quality print services or web hosting. Call Images Print Shop at 643-1796 weekdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Images Print Shop, your hometown print shop in downtown Huntington. So we're now just going through the introductions of the weight classes. I'll briefly run down through what we have set up here. We are at 106. Well, the match will start at 106 pounds, where Huntington's Hunter Roan will receive a forfeit. We'll move on to 113, where Huntington's Jacob Wagner will receive a forfeit. We will have a match at 120 pounds, and it's looking like Warren Shope, sophomore for Huntington, will be wrestling Devin Brown. 126 pounds, we'll see sophomore Isaac Benson, a returning Southwest regional qualifier. He will wrestle Jamal Hicks. At 132, PIAA third place finisher from 2 years ago, Colin Glorioso, will receive a forfeit. At 138 pounds, Tyler Scott from Huntington will wrestle Tyrone's Derek Harris. 145 pounds, Trenton Schaefer will wrestle Sage Dixon. 152 pounds, it's a forfeit for Seth Bainey. 160 pounds, it's a forfeit for Jacob Wagner. 170 pounds, it's a forfeit for Jacob Oliver. 182, it's another forfeit for Huntington, and it'll be Austin Roan accepting that for the Bearcats. 195 pounds, Logan Fisher will accept the forfeit. At 220 pounds, Tyrone's Southwest Regional qualifier, Stevie Collier, will wrestle Huntington's Austin Baker. And at heavyweight, it will be Brady Shope versus Gage Light. So that's your rundown. There will be, again, lots of forfeits tonight. So the dual meet score will never be in question. We'll just have to see how these individual bouts shake out and kind of go from there. Huntington will return to action over the weekend as they go to the King of the Mountain tournament over in Central Mountain. And those of you who are devout wrestling fans know that that is one of the toughest high school wrestling tournaments in the state. So while Huntington will not be tested tonight and will really not know, really where they stand as a team over the weekend, beginning on Friday, they will definitely get a good shot at knowing where some of these kids are and knowing exactly what they have to do. Again, tonight's Bearcat broadcast has been underwritten by Huntington High School alumnus throughout the nation. Huntington High School has provided our alums with quality education through our developing years, and for what we are grateful and remain lifelong Bearcat fans. From the class of 1969 and 1972, go Cats. Continued success now and in the future. So Hunter Roan just stepped out to the mat to accept his forfeit. Jacob Wagner at 113 will step out and accept his forfeit, and we will move on to 120 pounds and our first bout of the evening. We're going to see who Huntington's going to shout out. It should be sophomore Warren Shope, and it is. It'll be Devin Brown from Tyrone versus Warren Shope III, a sophomore, 9-17 last year. I think he went 0-2 actually in District 6 action. So we are ready to get underway. First of the 2-minute periods. Wrestlers are in the mat, eyeing themselves up. A little bit of head slapping going on here right off the bat as they do a little bit of hand fighting. Starting to get together. Now they end up going down to the mat. Shope get down to one knee, takes a look for a shot, but does not. Brown in, tried to do a shot. Nice brawl back by. And it looks like Devin Brown's going to get around for a 2-point takedown. And now 2-point reversal. So a 2-2 here is what we've got, it looks like. A little bit confusing. Tonight's referee is Jimmy Ravello. Those of you who know Jimmy, he's from the Juniata Valley area. Warren Shope still trying to work out of bottom as Devin Brown has a 2-point takedown and is in control on top. Brown still trying to get, or Shope, still trying to get out on the bottom position. Now he's bellied out flat as Brown is trying to work an arm bar across the back of the head. He's got a real high ride. Brown has a real high ride going on here on Shope. Shope completely bellied out. And we've got 44 seconds left in the period. Again, a 2-point takedown by Brown at about the 1:20 mark of the first period as your score. Again, this is close to a stalemate here as Shope is really not able to do anything on the bottom, and Brown is not really doing much on top either. He's trying to work a double arm bar, but it's not really going anywhere. I'm really looking to a stalemate here coming up, but nothing happened. 18 seconds left to go in the first period. Huntington up 12-0 by virtue of 2 forfeits in the match. Again, the dual meet score will never be in question tonight as Tyrone's only able to send 6 healthy bodies out to the mat. And 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Period 1's going to end with a 2-point takedown by Devin Brown. Brown will be able to select his choice here. Brown will choose down to start the second period. Shope will start up on top. 2-0 your score in favor of Devin Brown over Warren Shope. And period 2 is underway. Shope with a nice ride started out. Brown fighting to get loose, trying to kick his now. Brown trying to step into a double leg from a bottom position and does. Wow, that's a nice move there. Another 2-point takedown from Brown. Your score is 4-0 now. Minute 42 left to go in the second period. Both wrestlers near the edge of the mat and whistled out of bounds. Shope will return back to the center, the bottom position. Brown will be on top. Shope was never really able to get out of the bottom in period number 1. Riding time never a factor in high school. The kids are always just trying to look for bonus points and positioning here, not necessarily just trying to ride them out for control. Brown on top, same positioning as he had in the first period, really high, throwing his legs in down at the bottom. Shope really not able to do much at all. Getting a baseline. Now it looks like up, potentially dangerous. Potentially dangerous as Brown was really working over Shope's left shoulder. No change. 1:17 left to go. 4-0. Devin Brown over Warren Shope is your score. Period number 2. Tyrone will have the red anklets on. Huntington will be donning the green anklets in tonight's match. Shope desperately trying to get out and do a nice sit out, and he does. So Shope is out for a 1-point escape. 4-1 now is your score, but quickly Brown in with another takedown as Shope just kind of curled up underneath him on that one. Not really much effort on Brown to be able to get that takedown. Now Shope is really being stretched out. Brown's got him in a very much a high cradle position here. Now we've got back points going on here for Brown, and almost Shope's back was exposed to the mat there a little bit. 42 seconds to go. 2 back points for Brown. You've got a 6-1 bout score here. 8-1 now due to the takedown. Mike's fault on that. 31 seconds left to go in the second period. Brown really working over Shope in this match. Again, this is a 120-pound match. First 2 matches, 106 and 113, were forfeited to Huntington due to Tyrone not having anybody available for those weight classes. We will have a bout next coming up in 126. Brown back in control, 22 seconds left to go. Second period, back in control on top. Trying to work over arms and get Shope turned back over onto his back. Now Shope's arms twisted up near his head and really not able to get out. Brown's really just controlling this match from the top position. End of period number 2. We have an 8-1 score. That'll be Warren Shope's decision on what placement he wants to take, and he's going to take neutral. We're going to start third period in the neutral position. And Shope's really going to have to get his motor going here if he wants to try to do anything. Brown probably has about 2 or 3 inches in height, and his length is really proven out well. Shope just tried to go in for a double leg takedown there, but really can't. It's really not too effective as Brown sneaks on behind and gets it's his 4th takedown of the match to make this a 10-1 bout score right now with 1:36 left to go. Another potentially dangerous situation here. called by referee Jim Ravello, as Warren Shope's right arm was getting pretty much torqued up in behind his head. And anytime a referee is going to see that in a high school bout, he's gonna stop that to try to prevent the injury. The one thing you want to do is make sure that all these kids walk out of here as healthy as can be. Nice sit-out exchange with Shope. He tried to get out, but unavailable. Again, Brown just kind of throttled him up there, and Shope was unable to get out from the bottom. 1:23 left to go. Period number 3. Again, your score 10-1 in favor of Devin Brown of Tyrone at 120 pounds. Huntington wearing their traditional blue and red singlets. Tyrone in their black and orange. So easy distinction between the two teams, that's for sure. Again, no change in position here as Brown just continues to throw legs in. Another potentially dangerous situation, almost eerily similar to the last 2 that we've had at this point in time. 53 seconds left to go in your 120-pound match. 10-2 is your score, as Shope was just awarded a penalty point based on what Brown was doing there. So it must have been a little bit too potentially dangerous at that point in time. 53 seconds left to go. When the referees whistle, Shope again back on bottom and really not a threat to get out here at all, as Brown immediately goes to work on his head and trying to get that left shoulder turned over, now back over to the right shoulder, trying to get over again. Another potentially dangerous. He's trying to run everything he can here to get Warren turned over. And again, another potentially dangerous situation, another penalty point awarded to Shope because of what Brown is doing. It looks like he is being told to really watch that elbow and not expose it. And so now we have a 10-3 bout score, 34 seconds to go. Again, the match really not in doubt here for Brown at any point in time, as he has been in total control in whatever he is trying to do. 25 seconds left to go. Looks like Shope will probably end up keeping this to a decision at this point in time. Maybe not. He's getting turned over. Nope. Still parallel. No exposed back at that point in time. 12 seconds. We're down into our final 10, and it looks like Devin Brown of Tyrone is going to walk away with his first victory of the year, a 10-3 decision over Warren Shope III at 120 pounds. I'll make your dual score 12-3 in favor of Huntington. Again, as we had talked before, there will not be any real threat to the dual score. We're going to go to 126 pounds, where sophomore from Huntington, Isaac Benson, with a 28-12 record last year as a freshman, will now be wrestling Jamal Hicks of Tyrone. Benson last year, a very pleasant surprise in the lightweight category for the Bearcats. Placed 5th at the District 6 tournament, one of 7 going to the Southwest Regional last year. Got a start and stop here by referee Jim Ravello. Check on the scores table, make sure the clock is ran properly. The clock tonight is being run by Huntington head football coach Mike Hootie. So brand new scoreboard over here for anybody that has not visited the Huntington gym. Quickly, Isaac Benson in for a double leg takedown, and there's 2 awarded to him. Benson out with a quick 2-point lead over Jamal Hicks of Tyrone. It's a nice double leg shot. Isaac's put a lot of work in the offseason. He looks pretty good. He looks pretty fresh out there. He's pretty excited for the upcoming season. Anytime a freshman can make it to the Southwest Regional, specifically out of District 6, that's always an encouraging sign, because District 6 is so tough. Now, Isaac gets him spent over onto his back, and we are getting back points on the far side of the mat. Referee has counted out 3, and we are looking for a potential pin here, as Benson is picking up his head and really dropping his hips, and he's about ready to go flat if he is not already. I can't believe he's not there yet. We are right at the edge of the mat, though, so Isaac's got to be real careful to make sure he keeps both feet in, but he is really close now. Hicks spinning over, trying to get out, and bellies out, and it's going to be 3-point near fall points for Benson, and a 5-1 lead as Benson quickly gives him the escape. Now, quickly in on another 2-point for a double leg takedown, and 2 more for Isaac Benson. She stakes out to a 7-1 lead here in period number 1. 30 seconds left to go. Benson in total control now as Hicks gets to his knees. He's trying to fight off the wrist control that Benson has put in. Now Benson sits out and tries to spin him over, and it looks like arms are parallel. Now he's got him over to his back, exposed. There's 3 more near fall points going to be awarded to Benson here at the end of the period. He's not going to get the pin as time expires. So 3 more points awarded to Benson, and he's out to a 10-1 lead here at the end of period number 1. Hicks will take the bottom position to start period number 2. Again, this is, we have talked earlier, and I was talking to Greg earlier, this Huntington Bearcat lineup is phenomenal. From the bottom to the top, they should be as solid as they have ever been, and they are really looking forward to big things to come. Again, the big test going to be this weekend at the King of the Mountain tournament in Lock Haven at Central Mountain. And we'll see what happens there, as a lot of Pennsylvania's best will be there to give the Bearcats a good run for the money. And some of Huntington's best will be there too, including Colin Glorioso and Jacob Oliver and John Wagner, 3 returning PIAA state place winners. No movement here in period number 2, 1:26 left to go. Benson still in control on top, running an arm bar as Hicks is up on his knees and not really able to go anywhere. Benson really trying to hit a near side cradle here and get him turned over. He just kind of roll through. Benson with another roll through. Some really going on here at the center of the mat. 1 minute left to go. Period number 2. And now Benson has him tilted over. He got a 1 count and then back over, so no points awarded there. 1, 2, now he's back over. 3 count by Jimmy Ravello. He's got 2 points awarded. The major decision will not be in question now. Now it's just a matter of whether Benson can either get him turned over or get the technical fall here. 37 seconds left to go. Jimmy Ravello holding the 2-point near fall, the 2 near fall points at this point, not fully awarded yet, as he's waiting for Benson to completely finish his move, and now he did. 12-1, and Hicks just out on a quick escape. We are neutral. 20 seconds left to go. We'll see Benson in on another single leg takedown right on the right leg as Hicks just kind of falls right back on that. Benson trying to drive through. Hicks holding on for dear life. 5 seconds left to go. Still neutral, still no issue. Now we got 2 points there. Just finished at the end of the period. A 2-point takedown for Isaac Benson. He will lead going into the third period 14-2, and he will choose the neutral position to start the third period, most likely to try to work up some more points to get the technical fall. Benson looks really sharp right now, too. He puts a lot of work in the off season, and I will give him props as he was my catcher this year in baseball and did a phenomenal job for me. 1:40 left to go. Period number 3. Both wrestlers in the center of the mat. Again, Huntington wearing the green anklets and Tyrone wearing the red. Another shot by Benson, another double leg takedown coming up here, and yep, there it is, awarded. And it looks like Hicks back to his back, and Benson working his way up. He's trying to work a power half here, and there he is. Benson in on a power half on Hicks's head. 1:05 left to go, third period. Benson in complete control, trying to get him turned over at that power half. He's really working that right shoulder of Hicks. 16-2 now your score in favor of Huntington's Isaac Benson. Again, a Southwest Regional qualifier last year. Placed 5th at the District 6 tournament at 120 pounds. He's starting out the season at 126, but I suspect he will not end up there. I would look for Benson to move down a weight class and finish out the season at 120 pounds. 1 point escape by Hicks, and then again, Benson really in on another double leg takedown, flip over, and he's got it. Awarded 2 more points here on the far side of the mat. And there's your technical fall. At 5 minutes and 41 seconds, Isaac Benson with a technical fall over Jamal Hicks of Tyrone. Tonight's Bearcat broadcast on the Air Network is courtesy of the Huntington Drop-In Center at 512 Washington Street in downtown Huntington, where we provide a wide range of social, economical, educational, and recreational activities to the local mental health population. We also operate the County Fresh Express food distribution every month. The next Fresh Express food distribution is happening Wednesday, December 16th at 512 Washington Street, beginning at noon. Thank you for your support, and Merry Christmas. We just saw a forfeit to Huntington's Colin Glorioso at 132 pounds. We'll now move on to the 138-pound weight class. Huntington's Tyler Scott will be wrestling Tyrone's Derek Harris. And this is a 138-pound weight class. Scott, another one of the Bearcat standouts from last year. He is a junior, a 52-18 record overall. 19-10 last year. He placed fourth at the District 6 tournament and went 2-2 at the Southwest Regionals. He's another one of those 7 qualifiers that they put out there. Again, another big year is expected for Huntington wrestling, and Tyler Scott figures heavy to be in on that. Minute 43 left to go. Scott in on a quick takedown of Harris. He is stoked out to a 2-0 lead, and now he is looking to work a near side cradle here on Harris. He got a 3-point 3 back points awarded to Scott, and he is out to a 5-0 lead here at the 138-pound weight class. 23-3, your overall bout score. Scott working on top. Most of these Bearcat wrestlers are really working these power halves, and you can tell that they're coached by that. 12th-year coach John Mikett really doing wonders with this program as he will pick up win 199 tonight and look to pick up win number 200 next week. 2 more near fall points awarded to Scott as he's able to turn and expose Harris is back there for 2. He's out to a 7-0 lead. Now he's got him flipped over, and we're going to get, there it is. There's your fall at 1 minute and 21 seconds of the first period. A fall for Tyler Scott over Derek Harris of Tyrone at 138 pounds. Tonight's Bearcat broadcast on the Air Network brought to you by Images Print Shop in downtown Huntington for a variety of print services, including brochures, newsletters, business cards, business forms, and more. Let Images Print Shop provide you with quality print service or web hosting. Call Images Print Shop at 643-1796 weekdays from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Images Print Shop, your hometown print shop in downtown Huntington. We move on to 145 pounds, where junior Trent Schaefer will be taking on Tyrone Sage Dixon. Schaefer, a junior, member of the Huntington football team, was 14-18 last year. Last year, these two did meet in the duel, so this is a rematch of last year where Dixon won 4-1. Schaefer out very aggressively, heavy on the head of Dixon here on the far side of the mat. Both wrestlers are still neutral. Schaefer really trying to work. Wrestlers just moved off to the edge of the mat, but Schaefer really trying to work aggressively to get Dixon turned over. This one will probably be one of the more exciting matches. Again, a 4-1 decision by Dixon last year over Schaefer. Schaefer, if you know him, he's a very explosive, and he's one of those kids that he's in the room, and he's definitely wrestling with a lot of vigor here tonight. Wrestlers return back to the center of the mat. 59 seconds left to go. First period. There's a nice single leg shot by Schaefer deep in on the left leg of Dixon. Dixon doing a good job of sprawling back and trying to work in a whizzer. Now he's grabbing the back ankle of Schaefer and trying to scoot around maybe back for his own type of takedown. Schaefer again in deep. Going to see what happens here as Dixon on top, Schaefer in the bottom, and Dixon about ready to gain control as he looks like he's trying to lock up a cradle. He's got his hands locked, and referee Jim Ravello is going to call a stalemate. 23 seconds left to go at 145 pounds. This will be the last match until we get to 220. The next ones. 5 matches will all be forfeited to Huntington. Dixon in quick on a double leg takedown shot. Schaefer sprawls back. 10 seconds left to go. No score. First period. at 145 pounds. Dual meet score is heavily in the favor of Huntington, again, as expected, 29-3. End of period number 1. Tyrone Sage Dixon will have his choice, and he will select the bottom to begin period number 2. Schaefer will be on top and moves in position quickly. Referee Jimmy Ravello's whistle, and we're underway. Schaefer working up near the top and trying to work again. That power hash needs to be a signature of what Huntington Bearcats trying to do. Now he's trying to wrap up a cradle here. Dixon easily able to break out of that. Dixon reaches in and gains wrist control of Schaefer and is trying to get out. Now he's up to his knees and up to his feet and going to be out. Looks like he's going to try to get a takedown of his own here. And both wrestlers out of bounds. And let's see if he awarded any positioning at all. Nope, none whatsoever, as Dixon was really close to being able to get a reversal out of that, but did not. So we still have a 0-0 bout score, 1:26 left to go in the second period. Schaefer gets a little bit too high on Dixon. Schaefer got a little bit too high on Dixon. Dixon was able to reverse him and pin him in the center of the mat at 117. It looks like it's going to be in 2 minutes and 43 seconds for Sage Dixon, a fall over Trent Schaefer. So Schaefer not able to avenge his loss from last year. And that'll move your bout score 29-9 in front of the Bearcats. And now we are just going to have a bevy of forfeits coming out for the Bearcats. It's going to run this team dual score up even higher. Our next contested weight class will be at 220 pounds. Again, tonight's broadcast being underwritten by the Huntington High School alumnus throughout the nation. Huntington High School has provided our alums with quality education through our developing years, and for that we are grateful and remain lifelong Bearcat fans. From the class of 1969 and 1972, go Cats. Continued success now and in the future. So while we're accepting some forfeits out here for Huntington, a little bit of time to give you some background on some interesting facts that I was able to dig up. Of course, accompanying in his third year as a full assistant for Coach John Mikett is assistant coach Eric Shea, who many remember his brother was a state champion back in 1988, and Eric himself, not too shabby of a wrestler, compiling a 75-12 record in 1989 and capturing the 135-pound District 6 championship. And this one will go a little bit back as we look at 1972 graduate Greg Banks. That's right, Greg Banks, who's in our studio, finished his illustrious wrestling career for the Bearcats with a 10-9 record and 5 falls. So,
my God, that's why I never became a professional.
Just trying to remember Greg back there on the mats a long time ago. He is listed in the annals of Huntington history.
Just barely, though, huh? Oh, man.
Landon Fisher out accepting his forfeit. Looks like Logan Fisher is going to go at 220 pounds. So we're going to have a pretty good match here. This is Steve Collier, Tyrone Southwest Regional qualifier from a year ago, and he's going to go up against Logan Fisher, so it looks like they bumped him up. Fisher, a senior, 28-10 last year, 79-31 overall, placed third in the districts 2 years ago, was a Southwest Regional qualifier that year. Quickly, Fisher in on a takedown at 220 pounds. He's out to a 2-0 lead, and now all of a sudden he tries to roll through, and Fisher is now caught on his back as Collier is sitting real tight with a real strong grip on Fisher's head, and he's got 2 back points plus a reversal. So he's got 4, actually he's got 3 back points. It was a 5-point move for Stevie Collier at that point in time. 1:19 left to go, and Fisher really fighting to get out to his feet. Now he does get out of his feet. 3 back points awarded to Collier. Okay, so we're going to have a bevy of stuff going on here. We've got a 3-point near fall call for Collier. We've got a face rake on Collier. that he's going to, no, a face rake on Collier by Fisher that he is going to be awarded 1 penalty point. And we got an escape by Fisher, so it's going to move your bout score to 7-2 at this point in time, as Tyrone Stevie Collier is awarded a penalty point. It's a technical violation, so 7-2 your score again. Fisher out with a quick takedown of Collier. And then Collier quickly on a reversal, getting Logan Fisher onto his back and a 5-point move. And we've got a penalty point awarded to him as well. So still trying to get things sorted out here as Coach Mikett and Tyrone's coach have been out at the scores table, just trying to figure out really what's going on here, making sure our score is right. Yeah, it's 6-3. That's correct. It should be 6-3 in favor of Collier, and that is the correct bout score. We're now back underway, 1:11 left to go. First period here at Huntington Area High School. The bout score has changed. It's up to 59-9 in favor of Huntington. Not really much of a surprise again. And there is a nice duck under by Fisher for a 2-point takedown, and he quickly lets Collier back out neutral. So it's 7-5 in favor of Collier, as Fisher is preferring to fight on his feet here in the first period. Kind of a cut loose type of thing. The shots are there for Fisher, who is the quicker of the two wrestlers on the mat right now. I would say that Collier probably is a solid 220, where Fisher's probably coming in right around 200, 210 at this point in time. The lighter of the two wrestlers, but quick on his feet. 29 seconds left to go. First period action. And Fisher trying a quick duck under here, and he gets it. 2-point takedown for Fisher, pointing his third takedown, and now has Collier in all kinds of trouble as he's able to hook up a near side spladle and pin Steve Collier in the first period at 1:49 in the first period. Logan Fisher records the fall over Tyrone Stevie Collier at 220 pounds. A little bit of a surprise there. Again, Fisher kind of backing off last year in the postseason and not having the greatest of District 6 tournaments, but looked to be much fresher and much quicker than Stevie Collier in that point, and getting the fall. So now we're going to finally move on to the last match of the evening. That's right, this is our 6th contested match, and we are at heavyweight, where Brady Shope will be taking on Gage Light. Brady Shope was a freshman last year, was 4-20 for the Bearcats. And you never know what's going to happen in a heavyweight match. So we're going to quickly get out here to the action as both of them are tied up and trying to flip each one of them over. We got a 2-point takedown by Shope, as both of them both had their heads wrapped up. And Shope able to flop on top of Light at that point in time and get the 2-point takedown. We're going to get a blood time, it looks like here, for Shope as he's bleeding from his nose. Coach John Mikey comes out and gives him some encouraging words. Assistant Coach Eric Shea come out to take a look and make sure everything's all right. And Trainer Dan Chase out there as usual. Trainer Dan, you see him at every Huntington home event. It's one of those guys that you just like to go up and shake his hand. He's a real good guy. So we got a blood timeout here in the first period. Bout score 65-9. And that will never be in contention tonight, as we look to, as Huntington will get their first dual meet win of the season. Yep. Brady all cleaned up here. Both wrestlers returning back to the center of the mat. Light will take the bottom position. Shope on top. And we are set to go. 1:39 left to go, first period. Nice sit and switch by Light. Quickly out for the 1-point escape. Not yet awarded, as Shope controls the head, reaches around back for the nice job by Shope to try to stay control, heavy on the head there. And they have not awarded the 1-point escape yet, although it is about ready to come, and there it is, as it was almost inevitable, as Light was pretty much on his feet and backing out, and Shope really wasn't going to be able to hang on for long. 1 minute down in the first period, as we are in our final bout here at Huntington Area High School. And our first wrestling match of the season, our first of 4, and hopefully districts. Now we've got a 2-point takedown by Shope, who quickly takes Light to his back We're getting back points recorded here by Jim Ravello. 43 seconds left to go. And Shope is squeezing, and there's your fall at, again, 1 minute and 21 seconds of the first period at 285 pounds. And that will conclude tonight's dual meet wrestling match. Huntington will go on to win 71, a lopsided victory, 71-9. And that will be it from the Huntington Area Gymnasium.
And you've made short business of it tonight, Chad States. Excellent job as always, so thank you. And thank our sponsors for, of course, sponsoring Huntington High School Wrestling tonight against Tyrone. Again, final score, Chad?
Huntington 71, Tyrone 9.
All right, how does a coach really evaluate this match after all those forfeits? What do you think Coach Mike has to do at this point?
Yeah, you're going to evaluate the 6 that you wrestled. 3 of them were pretty decent matches. I think the Fisher-Collier match was a good matchup to see. That was a very good win for Logan Fisher early on in the year. Again, Collier, no slouch, a District 6 place winner last year, went 2-2 at regionals. So no slouch at all. And for Logan Fisher to get a first period fall and really look quick on his feet at 220 pounds, I'm thinking he might have found a calling there, as Huntington will really need that weight secured moving forward. So, again, you're going to get some takeaways, not a lot, but you just got to take what's given to you. And tonight, that was a 71-9 bout score in favor of the Bearcats.
Well, for those people tuned in all over the country, listening to their alma mater, Huntington Bearcat Wrestling, what's that mean for a Glorioso or Wagner who doesn't get to put in any time tonight? Were they working out on maybe an exercise bike, or how do they get ready for that next match?
Well, the one good thing is Huntington's room is pretty deep. So Wagner's got a partner that he will not find any better in the state, and that's Jacob Oliver. So Jacob Oliver, a returning PIAA second place or runner-up last year, losing to South Fayette's Jake Wenzel 4-2 in the state final. So Wagner's working out with one of the best in the state. Same way with Glorioso. Glorioso's going to work out with Benson and the kids that are around him, so they're going to do quite well. Glorioso also has been wrestling a lot over the summer. He was down at the Disney Duels this year and competing with the Young Guns Club. That is just out of Evansburg. So
Strip Matter Brothers.
They're not starving for competition. Both these, all these kids are pretty much seasoned and ready to go.
Now, these guys are wrestling pretty much all season long. You mentioned Young Guns out of Johnstown, Evansburg with the Strip Matter Brothers, which have come to prominence over the last decade with national and state champions. And I guess Huntington's just a part of that, right?
Yeah, Huntington is. They have Glorioso, who is a recent commit to Lock Haven University next year, as he will take his talents to Thomas Fieldhouse in the PSAC and the EWL at the Division I level. A lot of that exposure is gained because of him wrestling at these Disney Duels and at the Young Guns Club, and then doing all the travel circuit that they do with that. So, wrestling can be a year-long sport if you want it to be, and some of these kids are making it happen like that. So
and that's all good, and that all started about 72 with Henry Green as the state champion. Jason Shea, as you mentioned. I remember his dad had that wrestling room for the kids, he and Eric back in the day. And so that's really the impetus and where this all began. And these kids wrestling now just took it another step further.
Yep, that's exactly right. And again, that's the name of the game. If you want to be able to compete with some of these upper echelon kids, you've really got to stake your be on your game all year round. It's a 365-day sport nowadays.
Well, I'm sorry you dug out that 10-9 record. I thought I did much better than that. But listen, that was my junior year.
I was waiting to see how I could sneak that in. But,
and you did.
As I was combing through the records, I had to see that Greg Banks at 10-9, but you had 5 pins.
Oh, did I?
Again,
okay.
The records don't show who you beat. So let's just make it sound like you beat a whole bunch of district and regional qualifiers and go from there.
It wasn't necessarily like that. It was like guys like Dave Forston from Huntington, now who used to wrestle for Mount Union. So, but hey, we won't go there. But you had mentioned some upcoming matches. We have scheduled here on the Air Network, by the way, Huntington versus Hollidaysburg. That's January 7th. We also have them taking on the Bison of Clearfield. I hope Clearfield is up for the that match that night on January 12th. In that Huntington Duels that's coming up on February 2nd, Do you happen to know who that'll
be? The district duels.
District duels?
That'll be yet to be. That won't be set. So
to be determined.
Yeah, that'll be part of the tournament.
They'll
get one match here, and then they'll quickly go into a semifinal, and then a finals match the following weekend to determine who the district duels champion is. Again, Huntington last year dropping a heartbreaker, a 37-36 decision to West Branch. I don't figure Huntington to really have that close of a competition this year. Again, as you just start looking up and down the lineup, it's a pretty strong year. And again, talking to some of the coaches, they expect big things, not just individually, but also team-wise, and not just at the local level, but all the way at the state level this year.
So in your estimation, Huntington should have a very strong season. Is there anybody that might threaten the record? I mean, is there any one team that sticks out to you in this district, District 6 this year?
Not right now, unless somebody like Westmont Hilltop or Richland or somebody down around that area has anything. I don't see anybody locally challenging them because West Branch, they lost a lot of people from last year.
Right.
So I do not see them challenging them. You never count Mount Union out. One thing you know about that program is they're usually stoked up. Coach Corey Wirtz does a good job of getting those kids ready specifically for the postseason, so you never count them out.
And, you'd mentioned Westmont. They have a co-op this year with Bishop McCourt again, and the Andrews kid from Bishop McCourt who's wrestling for Westmont is always sort of a tough and, that is heritage as well because that goes back to his father who was a state champion runner-up, and his grandfather, Alan Andrews, who wrestled back in the 70s. He also wrestled the Carr brothers from Erie, so this goes way back. But there is such a heritage in this wrestling. Elwood restarted this program. What year was that? Like 1964 for Huntington?
Yeah, I
mean,
think
it's been some
right.
years. Yeah. So, and then Coach Micah just continues the flow as it goes. And you said he is up now to win, number 200?
Win number 199 tonight.
Whoa! Okay, congratulations.
So he will reach the crescendo of 200 win plateau.
That is fantastic. Chad States again, fantastic job covering Huntington Bearcat wrestling. By the way, as we mentioned again, those matches coming up on January 7th against Hollidaysburg. Also Clearfield on the 12th of January. The Huntington wrestling duels to be determined February 2nd, and hopefully we can get into the postseason. And speaking of which, coming up on Friday night, Jeff Speck will have high school girls basketball when the Huntington Lady Bearcats actually take on Clearfield. So, good job, Chad.
From the Huntington Bearcat Gymnasium, Chad States, with another big win by the Huntington Bearcat wrestling team, and we will look forward to talking to you later.
All right, Chad States, thanks again. 71-9 final tonight. Huntington taking on the Tyrone Eagles, and we'll have more on sports. You want to keep it here. Listen for our podcast, by the way, of this broadcast. Just go to theairnetwork.net and check out our podcast here on the Air Network. Thanks for listening. Thanks to the sponsors. We'll see you back here Friday night at 7 for Huntington Bearcat Lady Bearcats basketball taking on Clearfield.